In this, the second episode of the Films of Brian Paulin miniseries here at Universe Retro, we cover the homage-heavy zombie film Bone Sickness from 2004. In this film, we see Alex, played by Rich George, and his friend Thomas, played by Paulin. Alex has a rare disease that gives him very brittle bones, and he is slowly dying from it. It causes issues not only with his health, but his relationships as well. Thomas believes he knows of a cure, feeding Alex the remains of the dead to counteract the disease. It starts working, but causes Alex to slowly start turning into a zombie. Also, the dead do not take kindly to Thomas feeding his friends their remains, so they come back with vengeance for the living. Starting off the film, I was a little taken back. Maybe starting with Cryptic Plasm, which was filmed 10 years after this one, was a bad idea. This one looks noticeably less quality budget-wise, and I believe it's because the budget was in fact way less. That's not necessarily a bad thing though. Zombies are not really my thing. I'm not really a fan of them, but I figured I'd see Paulin's take on the zombie genre. The film and story starts well, and the acting is pretty good. I liked that the story was a different take without retreading the same old tropes as other zombie films. Like Cryptic Plasm, the film takes a bit to get into the gore and pick up. Along the way, we see a lot of story and character development. Everyone does a pretty good job. This film also shows nudity, which is different than Cryptic Plasm because in Cryptic Plasm there was no nudity. So if you're into that, then you get it here for sure. Along the way, we also see some pretty cool locations, and the sets look varied and add a sense of realism. I thought it took a little long to get going, but it wasn't horrible. We slowly see Alex from being sick to the side effects to full-blown zombie. His effects look great, but the treat and the reason to watch this film, in my opinion, is the crazy zombie scenes in the third act. Where I told you previously I enjoyed Cryptic Plasm for the story primarily, I enjoyed Bone Sickness for the complete opposite. While the story was decent, I wasn't a huge fan of it. I enjoyed this flick for the gore, especially the third act. There are tons of gore, gut munching, bone snapping, and more. The camera doesn't shy away. While the camera does linger on the gore a little too long sometimes, it's still no doubt a really enjoyable third act for gore fans. Overall, I really enjoyed Bone Sickness, just not as much as Cryptic Plasm. Where Cryptic Plasm gave me the story and plot that I really wanted, with a gory third act, this film gave me a story I didn't enjoy quite as much, but just as gory final sequence. It's clearly an homage to gory zombie flicks and the works of Lucio Fulci, among other Italian splatter zombie flicks. If you're a fan of that genre, you'll definitely dig this, no doubt. So just like Cryptic Plasm in episode 1, I say check it out.